JB here, June 26th, 2024, 3:04 on this fine Wednesday afternoon. Really quick, just going to talk about a couple names, talk about the market, and go from there. Take a look at the S&P trading in a pretty tight range today. I just did the math. It's a 0.4% trading range, which pretty minuscule compared to at least last week and a week before. So again, I keep saying it bodes well for more highs, new highs. Typically beget new highs, and we have a blue sky breakout. So you think maybe a little consolidation here before the next leg. No big catalyst outside of the PCE data on Friday. So I think, in my opinion, that we're going to head to 550 or so on the SPY first. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. At the same token, 543 or so. That seems like support we hit there at 11 o'clock. So we get down to 543 again, break through that. Maybe I'll look for a put hedge or two, but for now, I think we're holding up pretty well. So that's that. So individual names, and first I'll talk about Roku. And Roku, I haven't traded. I guess I had May strikes. One of my names that I've traded many times over the years. I think it's a misunderstood story. Back when it was IPOing, everybody thought it was a stick, and the stock was 19 bucks, then it was 20 bucks, and then people realized, hey, wait, it's not just a product, it's a platform. It's a service. It's going to be monetized, right? So then as Roku continued to grow, not their hardware sales started to their platform monetization sales started to outweigh their hardware sales. Right? What's a good thing, because the hardware is a low margin business. They pretty much, sometimes some years, some quarters, they gave away their stick or their service, their product, to get into a TV or a customer's home so that they can in turn monetize their platform, right? Get that Roku platform on the TV. Uh, and that was kind of the business model. So then eventually they got into so many homes that the platform monetization business became a huge driver of their revenue and growth, huge margin. They have a Roku channel. I can go on a rant for a while about Roku, but it's been kind of, I put it on FinTwit before. It's almost like it's been left for dead. It's sitting here, was in the 50s. It's one of those Kathy Wood stocks that she's been loading up on, or she's been holding for quite some time. Uh, was up near 70 in February. Not saying this thing goes bonkers, but there's always been this possibility of some kind of M&A with Netflix, right? So if you don't know the story, Roku was Netflix, and then Anthony Wood came, took it elsewhere. There's great relationships. Their headquarters are pretty close. So I'm not going to sit there and insinuate or imply that, hey, there's going to be an acquisition by Netflix. I don't think it needs that for the stock to head higher. But you take a look, 50-day moving average at 50, is it 50, 58 bucks? Got close at 57.64, about 240 this afternoon. If it gets through that, I think it's off to the races. 60, 65, 70. Not only did I add July strikes, I added August. If you look at a historical basis, typically if I went and got 65 strikes, I'd be paying substantially more on the Julys. I'd be paying substantially more last year on Roku calls than I am right now. I think the premiums have evaporated. Historically speaking, it is, the implied volatility is minuscule. So I think it's a great opportunity, even if it, I of course I don't want it to sit here at 57 bucks for the next 5 days, but even if it does, I think the premiums are going to just go up, right? Similar to what happened with Chewy. So I think it's a great risk reward. Added some strikes. We'll see what happens this week. Maybe I'll do a post on it. But I mean, the stock trades 2 times revenues. When I was trading, it was 480 bucks back at the COVID days. It was trading like 37 times revenue, like much more than that. And I'm not, again, it's apples and oranges because different environment. All the other stocks were trading at premium valuations. But you take a look at a stock like Netflix. Netflix has was it 200 and let's see, I have to go pull it up. $293 billion market cap. Roku is an $8 billion market cap. And Roku is I use this analogy a lot. It's the content provider. It's the only neutral content provider out there. You can do Apple TV, you can do all these other YouTube Plus, YouTube TV, all those fun things, but those all have biased programming. Roku is the only content neutral platform out there that can invite all these other content creators, the Netflix of the world, HBO, the Maxes, the Disney Plus, Peacock, Paramount, all these a la carte services, and then Roku is front and center. So it's, to me, it's surprising. It's one company hasn't acquired them yet, but again, I'm not playing it for M&A. I'm playing it for I think it's undervalued. It's starting to bounce, and that 50-day at $58, I think that's a key spot. Hopefully, it breaks it tomorrow. Go from there. So that's Roku. Not going to talk too much about Roku. Chewy, wow, crazy stuff again. So here it is over $30. Yeah, this morning was like a boomerang, all the way down to 29. You thought, oh, that's it. That's the rally's over. And then you have the Kramer curse. So Kramer, after the close yesterday, what does he talk about? He talks about pet care, recessionary proof names, and then he talks about Chewy. I'm like, oh no. So I'm not saying that he is the curse, but sometimes, a lot of times, some of the names I'm in, he talks about, and they typically don't do what I would, what I plan them to do. But either way, so lock some more of my January strikes in. Crazy. How crazy, I had the $70 January strikes. I was looking and I said 18 cents. I grabbed those calls. Very, inexpensive, you would think, on a risk reward basis. And then, hang on one second, folks. And then, they just go bonkers. And the stock, it was up 11% yesterday, but the premiums just skyrocketed. So up over 1,000%. I locked some more in today. Yeah, 18 cents, locked them in at over $2. Crazy stuff. I'll just hold the rest of those. I'll hold the rest of my 3250s, which are up over 1,000% as well. And then at some point, maybe I'll look for some more strikes. CBOE added some 50-cent strikes on the monthlies, which is, I guess, a good thing. And then, it's just unfortunate because the premiums are insane. Right now, 70,000 calls have traded on Chewy, right? This is not a name that usually has this kind of option volume. So I think it's a great sign. I think it heads higher. And then if, we have this possibility of some kind of catalyst, which would be Ryan Cohen or GameStop adding a stake, or the GameStop crew coming over. And, not that I want to rely on any kind of trade on that kind of catalyst, right? Because it's pretty much like people post, oh, we're going to get a short squeeze. I don't think that's the best way to trade, but I think regardless of what happens with Ryan Cohen or, possible GameStop stake, I think if you look at Chewy, I think it trades 35, $40. And even at $40, it'll be fair valued based on its current earnings, its return to growth, and then that $500 million stock buyback. So that's Chewy. And again, it was $40 back in June of last year. Doesn't mean that that's where it goes, but I think if you start peeling back the onion, you say, well, that might be a spot where it's going to go. That's Chewy. ENVX under $15. Not going to talk too much about that one. I wish I was looking to get some more puts. Maybe I'll get some before the close. Again, they announced an MOU with some South Korean battery company this morning. So you take it, if you're bull of ENVX, you would say, why would they do a partnership with a battery company, right? Do you make batteries? It's like if you make the best cereal in the world and everybody wants your cereal, why would you partner with another cereal company, right? You'd be like, everybody wants my cereal. You know what I mean? Like, so same with ENVX. If your battery is the best battery, why would you go out and partner with another battery company who already has deals with Samsung? Again, I try to read through all the fine print and things like that, and it's like they want to have the buzzwords. They want to have we're finally legitimizing our battery with a company that does business with Samsung, right? They and I have to go look, because if you go look at the Ellen Tech's investor relations site, it's all in Korea. I have to get the translator out. But if you look at the press release, I don't know if they wrote their description or ENVX did, but they pretty much cited in there, they supply batteries to Samsung. It's almost like ENVX wants to have kind of a say, hey, we make batteries that might go in Samsung Galaxy phones. And anyway, so we'll see what happens here. I said it yesterday with their other press release yesterday, where they, they're saying we, they have there's already analysts out yesterday saying it might be with Meta, but they have, let's see how they word it, because I can't, their mixed reality headset, right? It's like, who says mixed reality headset? That is the most generalistic term for a 3D headset. Like, just say, you know? So why would they not say they have a deal with Meta, right? And then they'll say, oh, we have a non-disclosure agreement. But I'm like, if you're a company and they're, you know, 3 billion valuation before the open today, why would you not want to have a release? Is it Facebook wants to do a non-disclosure agreement? Because, you know, holy smokes, you know, 700 billion. What is Facebook right now? I have to go look at the capitalization. Yeah, $1.2 billion trillion dollar company is nervous about a $3 billion company and their battery. They don't want to let everybody know. Like, it's the craziest thing. But anyway, I can go on rants for a while. I keep saying I hope I'm wrong. And you know, just there's so many red flags. It just you start looking at red flag, red flag, red flag, one after another. And hey, maybe there's a green flag. And this morning there was finally a company that's actually a publicly traded company, right? Great news. You would think, you know, they partner with a company legitimate company, but then why is there no 8K filing, right? So post some, give some kind of SEC filing that can finally put to bed the concerns around all these MOUs and BS press releases that have been done over the last 4 years, right? That's all you have to do. And then I'm gone. I probably won't get puts. I'll close them out. But they don't. And they just keep coming out with BS after BS after BS. Anyway, rants for other days. Let's see. The market's still in a tight range. You know, I was looking at Spotify earlier this morning, all the way up to 325 in the pre-market. Held off on those. So I'll continue to look for opportunities to play that. Again, mentioned this morning on the rant. It typically runs the last day or two of the week. So if there's a day that runs to 325, 330, it's probably going to be Friday. So maybe I'll look for some strikes into possibly tomorrow. Altimmune TERN, just disgusting days. TERN all the way down to 638, was down over 10% today, outside the upward channel. So disappointing. That's why, you know, locked a lot of the calls in already. But I'm still bullish on the name. I think especially in the back half of this year, which ends Friday, you know, starts Friday at the end of Friday. I think it heads higher. VKTX down here, $47. Just you know, it's disappointing. I think that's it. I'm trying to think of some of the other names. You know, Exact Science, nice move today. There was an upgrade this morning. I'm trying to think of some of the other names I'm looking at. Altimmune TERN, ENVX, GPCR is down to $37. You know, I was looking at some calls to play for a move to 70 on GPCR. I'll just wait for the dust to settle. And that's it, folks. Let's have a great rest of the day. ROKU, hopefully over that 58 handle today or tomorrow. CHWY, I think it heads to $40 in the coming weeks. Continue to look for some opportunities to add more strikes there. And that's it, folks. Let's have a great day. Rock and roll.